You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
By the way, The Rock is 58.
Yeah. That's wild, ain't it?
Yeah.
He
48, rather. My fault.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fucking scary. It's fucking scary because I imagine he's going to look the same for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Can you smell what the cap is smoking?
That's illegal. Andy. He's got that jazz cabbage.
And on that note, welcome to this week's edition of the Couch Bro-tatoes. I'm Alex.
This is Cap.
And I'm Chris, who hates Boba Fett.
I thought you like him now.
Fuck him.
Fuck him, that's why.
I just want to get the Discord going. I just like pissing off people in the Discord.
Oh, man. Well, I was going to say, this show will get the fucking Discord going.
Stanley Kubrick presents Boba Fett.
Oh, my God.
I don't need some esoteric bullshit about a man in a helmet.
It's just Boba Fett in the palace the whole fucking time.
Whole fucking time.
Just talking to
Zoom
himself.
in, zooms out, fucking quiet periods for no reason.
They're all hour-long episodes.
Someone brought a little Apollo 13. Sure he fucking did.
Nah, I figure it's time we dig on into The Boys. Now, I was super late on the game on this one, but eventually I had like 2 or 3 friends just being like, "You're going to watch this."
Yeah, I was late to the party on this too, and I basically started watching it around the same time you did. Mm-hmm. When did you find out about it, Chris?
I watched it when it first came out.
Oh, cool.
I was a big Garth Ennis fan,
and that's
with Preacher. And,
oh, okay.
Because this was a comic series.
yeah,
I didn't realize
it's a dark
it was the
comic series like Preacher. And
But it said it was the same guy that does Preacher, right? Mm-hmm. And didn't Seth Rogen and his partner Evan whatever do this series too?
Yeah, they got deep with these 2 series.
Okay.
I don't know if you get a chance to watch Preacher, but that's a fun series.
I was going to say, because they produced Preacher as well, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a fun series.
Trying to find the other guy's
That's one
name.
series I would love y'all to watch it, and me just be like geeking out over that one.
My brother loved Preacher.
It's so fucking stupid.
But it's kind of like it's dumb and gory, but in like in a fun, fucked up way, kind of like how The Boys
Quentin
is.
Tarantino couldn't make movies, he would have made Preacher.
I believe it, or this fucking series.
Yeah, this dude.
But it's just weird thinking about Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg is the other guy's name that they're famous for. All the hilarious movies they made with Judd Apatow. Exactly.
Yeah.
But now they're doing really fucking serious comic properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one did just kind of catch me by surprise. And honestly, the best synopsis I can give for it is it's kind of a bastardized version of like things you've said, Chris, and a few other things. But honestly, best way to word it is if the Justice League was in real life and completely irredeemable assholes.
and just compound on that. It's how we would look at them.
Yes,
yeah.
because they would still have
like they don't show that in the comics or movies or anything. It's like, oh, thank you, Superman. Not, are you going to murder all of us? Like at any moment where you feel like it, you crazy fuck.
God, I hope he's having a good day.
I hope Superman sells iPhones. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they are. The boys, they're fucking shills.
Yeah.
No, and that's exactly it, because you see in the first episode, you see how they have the comic properties and the movies and the franchises and the sponsorships and everything. So much is tied to these superheroes. So it's like, it really was kind of a vibe of what real life with that might kind of look like. And it was pretty.
Oh, it's capitalized.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If people like it, they're going to sell it. Mm-hmm. Like Queen Maeve's lesbian Cheerios.
Yeah, that comes in season 2.
But yeah, still, they're all horribly marketed.
And
Yeah.
it all kind of plays on, or feels like it's poking at, say, a Disney corporation marketing your favorite heroes out in this day and
totally.
age, too.
Yeah.
Which I kind of fall under both things, where it's like, yeah, I see their point too, but at the same token, it's like that wouldn't be around if people just didn't want it. You know? So it's just like, who are you really pointing the finger at? Are you pointing the finger at Disney or are you pointing it at us? You know? And also kind of find it funny that Amazon, one of the largest corporations, allows this whole anti-consumerism type TV show to be broadcasted on their platform.
That hilarious?
I think they put it out at the perfect time because hero movies are just knocking it out of the park money wise. Like we've talked about it before, they're basically printing fucking money.
Oh yeah.
So I think now was a great time to put that out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it really points the finger at anything really, like, intentionally. That's just like a side effect.
Yeah.
But it does say, like, our idols can be fucking dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they do. They pull. I don't know if you noticed it, but they pull a lot more from DC than they do from Marvel.
I was going to say, this is a Superman story.
Yeah, this is like the Justice League instead of like the Avengers or anything like that, or the X-Men.
And we're in an era now where the idea of Superman being, the almighty Boy Scout isn't, enough anymore.
No.
And it's funny, especially with, all of us here at the table seeing the full series up to this point, seasons 1 and 2. It's interesting how much information they actually really give you in that first episode.
Yeah.
Because in the first episode, you learn about Compound V.
Yeah.
You get the introduction of Starlight. Huey's girlfriend dies.
A-Train.
A-Train.
And at the very end of that episode, which for some reason I watched the first episode like 2 or 3 times and I always forget it, but that one is the one where Homelander zaps down the plane.
It wasn't the first episode.
With the guy from Baltimore.
Yeah, because they were trying to do the bidding price for Nubian Prince. I was laughing because I forget the girl's name.
Starlight?
No, the director.
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, I forget her character's name, but she was like, 200 million or whatever it was, or 3 million, for Nubian Prince, and he was like, he came down to $1 million, whatever the price was. He's like, I can sell that, and she goes, no, I'm sorry, I don't think so. We have Atlanta waiting in the wings, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, the leader of the New World Order is sweet little Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
Remember me in Karate Kid?
Yeah. Cocktail.
Yeah.
No, I just thought that was pretty crazy in retrospect, just how much information they really gave us in that first episode.
They kind of like Preacher, this is a property that's not well known, so we need as much information as possible.
And they kind of let you know off the bat, this is not going to be quote unquote fun.
Yeah. No, they do that with Starlight.
Yeah, right out the gate
when they hire her.
Yeah, because she had the interaction with the Deep.
Yeah.
Which just gives the whole like
if you want to be here, take one for the team
old
bullshit.
the old Hollywood method.
Even Queen Maeve was like, "Hey, don't let them see that shit.
Yeah,
don't
let them see you like
tough,
this.
Bitch.
Yeah,
be tough."
And that's kind of and that's where I think the show kind of does a really good job because shows touch on the whole toxic masculinity and doing the incorrect ways of stuff, but then you usually have the other female that sees it, stands up for her other girl, where all of a sudden they flip that on its head, where she's just like, hey, clean yourself up,
and
then just walks away so cold-hearted, and even as a male viewer, it left me sitting here going like, fuck.
Well, like
he gets his comeuppance kind of.
Well, like in that level in our world now, like at the corporate level, it's shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
especially between women.
Yeah,
it's
and that's
you want to be a star,
sad.
don't you?
Yeah, it's kind of like the what's the movie with Charlize Theron and Margot Robbie that just came out? Was it Blindsided? Blind Spot?
Yeah, Blind Spotted.
Yeah,
Spotlight. No,
it's something like that.
Yeah, it's like Fox News.
Yeah, but exactly, that's what it's about. It's about Fox News, and yikes.
Yeah,
it's one of those. The Boys kind of has that tone.
Yeah.
And honestly, that even though how so much of that was, kind of, makes you kind of squirm in your seat, it's very uncomfortable to watch. At the same time, it made for a very compelling and captivating show because not many shows really feel the need or try to run the risk of doing something so graphic like that on something that they're also trying to do such a mass appeal on.
And least of all on a superhero show.
Mm-hmm. And it was also because I think because they set it up with that and they call back to it. It's not a constant every episode of some sort of sexual abuse thing. They lead on and they actually give the gravitas to the situation kind of thing. It's not just a fleeting moment that happens.
And they kind of make every action by all of these characters significant. Like it all leads to something.
Yeah, because it even shows like with A-Train after he runs through Huey's girl, like laughing about it at the club.
Yeah.
After Butcher.
Yeah.
Comes into play, which, by the way, he is my favorite fucking character. And that may be like, everyone's favorite character is Butcher. He's just a good one. He really is.
It's kind of like a Deadpool in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where, like, nothing can really kill him because he's kind of that, that snarky character that is there for comic relief, but also helps move the story along.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite's Frenchie, actually.
Frenchie. You
Really?
like Frenchie?
Because he's elaborate of what he does.
Oh, yeah.
But no, that first episode, man, I love the pull of Simon Pegg.
Yes, that
Right?
was great.
You got an A-list actor, in my opinion, an A-list actor.
Totally.
Especially in, like, fandoms, like Star Wars and Marvel, to be in your goddamn movie as a lackluster dad.
Yeah, that gets maybe total 30-minute screen time through the whole series.
The only thing I could justify this was like Simon Pegg's a big Dennis Quaid fan, and he just wanted an
I was
autograph.
gonna say, I think he and Seth Rogen did the movie where Seth Rogen voiced the alien.
Paul.
Oh,
that shit's fucking hilarious.
I only watched it like
Simon
once.
Pegg and Nick Frost go across the. You ever seen that?
No, I saw commercials for it. I never
Oh man,
watched it.
Kristen Wiig's in it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh man, Sigourney Weaver.
Because it's an alien.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. It's such a good movie. Jason Bateman's in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And something else about the series, the soundtrack is fucking
punk rock, man.
amazing. Punk rock and 80s rock and 70s rock all
It's
over
awesome.
the place.
And it's like deep cut UK shit like Buzzcocks and The Damned and
God, no,
The Clash and things like
and
that.
like Huey's always wearing like some sort of like David Bowie or Ramon shirt or some shit.
Yeah.
And God, what was Eminem? Later on was wearing like a Wu-Tang shirt, so it's like it's just like fuck yeah, it's like everyone's got like their good.
That whole second season, he's wearing like, look at Grandpa's T-shirt collection from '80s hip hop.
You know what? Him showing so much love to the 80s and early 90s hip hop. I mean, even though I may not be as well versed in it, it's like with you playing as much, Cap, I have definitely grown a lot more appreciation for it. So even seeing that right next to a Ramon shirt and a Bowie shirt and everything else, it's just like fuck. Yes, this is cool.
Yeah, I think Seth Rogen's a big music nerd because he's in all those Wu-Tang documentaries and all that too.
Because actually, one of my favorite bits, I know we're jumping ahead of season, but just talking about soundtrack, I think one of the best implementations, it was like in the first few episodes of season 2, Huey gets decked in the face by Butcher, and then Psycho Killer comes on from the Talking Heads just with
Psycho
that.
Killer.
Yep.
Just to say.
Dum, dum, dum. And it's just like and like the slow stand up with like the blood coming out of his nose and like the keys kind of coming in right at the right time. I'm just like, fuck yes.
But I heard that. I thought that's the second best use of that song I've ever heard.
What was the first for you?
There's a horror movie called The Rise of Lizzie Vernon. It's basically a Freddy and Jason, all of them were real, but they were real people.
Okay.
Who just dressed up and killed kids.
Okay.
And a documentary crew follows him around, and he's explaining how he's doing it.
Oh, I remember vaguely hearing about that. I never watched it though.
But anyway, he's explaining. He's like, "Yeah, when they turn their back on me, I'm running, and then when they turn around, I'm just walking." He's like, "I nail the window shut. I half cut the tree limbs. Blah blah blah." Well, at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he dies.
Quote
big
unquote.
quotations.
Yeah, and he's in the coroner's office, and then it's just a security footage of him in the security office, and it goes dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, and it's Psycho Killer. He gets up because he knows how to slow.
Shit.
He tells the documentary girl, he's like, "Oh yeah, I can slow my heart to make people think I'm dead."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like that's the whole thing. It's like, oh my god, that's what. Like if this was real, if the shit was real, it would be psychos who pull some like David Blaine bullshit who can slow their heart, run fast.
I have to check that one out. That seems. I remember hearing
It's
about
such
it.
a fucking good movie that people have been waiting like almost 20 years for a sequel, and nothing's happened.
Damn.
A fucking what's his name? Herschel's in it.
Oh,
from The
okay.
Walking Dead, and Robert Englund,
Huh.
or Englund, if you're a
Englund.
certain right person.
And I think one of the probably one of the funnier moments in this is because Huey, of course, at this point hadn't even killed a guy yet. The only blood on
he's
his
a sad
hands.
sack.
Yeah, the only blood on his hands is his girlfriend's. But the moment I love in this,
the only blood on his hands are the hands he's holding.
yes,
Yep. He got blood on the face.
I love the bit where they're in the car after Butcher talks him into
Planting the bug.
Yeah, he talks it, but he gives him like the whole rundown on how to
He's
do
like,
it.
"You good?"
He's like, no,
no.
I'm not good. There
That
are
is-
so many steps. Could you please repeat that?
Like 4 or 5 times. Like, we need to go over this like 4 or 5 times because all these people can murder me.
But the thing is like in reality, I'm like really paying attention to what Butcher's saying. He's over talking it like a motherfucker. That's all he needed to tell him. He needed to be like, Cap, what you gonna do? So when you get in there and you see the guy, you just ask to go to the bathroom. All right, take the little peely off the back, come back in, pop it under the desk, say bye, get your ass out. That's all he really needed to say. But he's like, now if you look on the back, there is this polyurethane seal. Now you have to peel this off, and now you gently.
Meanwhile, he was just like, "Wait a minute, say that one more time."
Yeah.
Here, flip it open, flip it close.
And of course, Translucent sees that because he's just a fucking creep because he was in the bathroom, in the girl's bathroom all the
Well, he's
fucking time.
invisible. He's invisible. And that's a callback for Elizabeth Shue because she was in Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, okay.
Damn. It's a scary movie about an invisible man who's a rapist.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then Translucent follows Huey back to the electronics store. Shit goes down. And I thought it was funny the moment where he actually zaps him literally in the ass.
Yeah. And the whole time it's like Butcher's like, "How did you know that?" He's like, "Oh, his skin, Jimmy Fallon, his skin is like a carbonate feeling.
He's like,
it's not, he doesn't go invisible. It's reflective light."
Yeah. It's like, well, it took me forever to figure that out.
Dude, I hope they did it in one take. Putting an invisible body in a trunk is some like low level improv club bullshit. Right? He's like, "Give me an idea. Throw a body in the trunk. That's fucked up, but we'll do it."
Well, see, I would love to see the behind the scenes on that because I never thought of it until you just now brought it up. Were they miming it,
I think they were fucking miming it because they're off center?
Well, I was gonna say that, or did they have like a green screen thing they were holding, and then they could like kind of shop it out? Maybe I don't
know, but I could see them like trying, I could see them like trying to do it improv style, and the director's like just sitting there sweating bullets because it's the pilot episode. He's just like, "God damn it!" And I was like, "Get Jerry in the goddamn green suit." It's just like, all right, fuckwads, you're gonna throw him in the fucking trunk. Obviously, you don't
realize now this is gonna cost us an extra $2,000 for this fucking scene, as we have to pay fucking Jim back there to fucking key this shit out.
And now that Jim's in the fucking movie.
Now we got to pay him.
Now he's part of the Screen Actors Guild. That's a whole insurance issue. Like,
God damn it.
Now, next time, how about you do better at your fucking improv?
Can you imagine if they did do that? The one guy who's in the green suit's like, "Hey, I'm in the boys." "Oh yeah, where are you?" "Oh, right there." "There's nothing there, you piece
I'm
of shit."
translucent.
Look, they're clearly carrying, they're
You the
improv.
invisible man, stunt man.
Yeah, that's real fucking impressive. You're the invisible man's a stunt man. Fuck.
You're not getting paid by screen time for this, asshole.
Yeah, but then rolling into episode 2 is when we get introduced to Frenchie and the rest of the crew.
Oh, Frenchie and his girlfriend.
Yes, because they drive Translucent because Huey... I love the moment where right as they're getting Translucent in the trunk, Butcher's like, "All right, well, let's get him in the boot." He's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Let's get the body in the trunk." He goes, "Well, what is this wee business?" He goes, "Well, you just off to Super." He goes, "Wait, he's fucking dead?"
Yeah, he's great at that.
Yeah, and he had and of course we'll talk on this later, but he had a good progression of becoming a hard ass.
Yeah.
He, especially going back and like finishing season 2 and then immediately starting season 1 again, he had a good progression.
He was still a sad sack, but he wasn't innocent anymore.
Yeah.
And he never got rid of the sad sack, but he kind of just used the sad sack to become a badass almost. Yeah, I'm sad as fuck, but guess what?
But like the whole
Also,
time,
fuck you.
well, the whole time, his stress is getting higher and higher.
Yes.
What happened to the first? His girlfriend died. He saw a superhero go through a motherfucker. That's stressful.
Yeah.
Now he's killing one of them. Mm-hmm. Now he's hooking up with international killers, all in the span of a week.
And all that time, his poor old dad's sitting here trying to tell him, take the money.
Yeah.
which that was one of those scenes where I did not expect that. Yeah. When the dad sat him down and was just like, you don't have the fight in you. You never did. Yeah. And it's just like, oh.
That's kind of where
that goes into his character development, because he's a sad sack.
Yeah. But it just father like son kind of thing, and basically just also going, I'm gonna break the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, stressful.
Yeah. I'm meeting a gun dealer / drug dealer for the first time.
Yeah.
Who happens to be friends with this guy I believe is in the FBI. Mm-hmm. Who may be in the FBI. Kind of, sort of not.
No.
And kind of reviewing episode 2 here, it seems like the main things that happen in this episode is they start talking about the Mallory files, and then
there's Starlight's kind of progression, because she beats up 2 rapists in an alley, I believe.
I do believe that one happens in this episode, and then this is the one where I just had it a second ago. Shit.
This is the one with the senators, ain't it? No, this is the one where the plane.
Yeah. I think that was episode 3. I think that's episode 3 is the plane. No, episode 2, just kind of reading it off here. Butcher returns to the CIA department, basically with a little bit of evidence. Homelander found evidence that Deep was trying to incriminate him for zapping down the guy's plane.
Yeah, let's talk about the Deep for a minute.
Yeah, let's talk about the Deep.
The Deep is Aquaman with his shittiness turned to 11.
Yes.
That's what all these characters are.
But no. He's a special type of fucking stupid.
Oh, just Aquaman's characters
because
in
he
general.
can talk to fish, and he's like, yeah, I sent my boys down there, and the Homelander's this whole time is like,
your boys, they're fucking tuna.
Kill your goddamn fish. I don't care about char marks on a goddamn aeroplane.
Yeah.
and like,
he's like, what? What did you find?
And they're
down
pushing,
there?
they're pushing the Deep to like do like the SeaWorld thing and all that. And I think this is the one where he kidnaps the dolphin.
I thought that was season 2. But that scene is wild.
That's the whale.
That's fucking
That's
hilarious.
The whale dies in season 2. He kidnaps a dolphin.
Okay, Dolphin season 1 whale. That
in the van, and he's talking
both
to
of
it.
those fucking scenes.
Oh, that happens a little later in the series.
but
that's when he starts
hilarious.
declining. Yeah, so it really seems like the main thing that happened in this episode, though, was they finally found a way to properly kill Translucent because they only shocked his ass.
Yeah, because
and
this
knocked him
episode's
out.
called Cherry, I think.
Yes. Yeah, and this is the one where basically they just pack some C4 up his ass.
Frenchie just said, fuck.
Well, the whole time, Frenchie, the whole time is Homelander realizes he's got to step up and look for Translucent because nobody's doing their job.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
And it's very elaborate the way they get rid of him. Like, Frenchie had a plan to get rid of him.
With that bullet.
Yeah, but the whole time, Frenchie's like looking up and watching the TV, and he sees a turtle, and that's when he realizes how to kill Translucent.
Yeah.
And I love the beginning, like, and now it knocks up his stress level even more.
Yep.
Because now he's getting called a pussy by a guy who's friends with the guy who killed his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And dude makes it, 3 steps? 3 steps, and then boom. And then it goes to, cherry bomb. The fucking Runaway starts playing.
It's awesome.
And I like the symbolism because it's like you knew he was going to press the button because he kept looking over at that poster.
Well, he popped his cherry. He popped his murder cherry.
Well, not just that, but it's like he kept looking over at the poster, and there was that kid with the
Clean up
spaghetti all over
Yeah.
the sauce. Keep your hands clean.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ooh, he's going to press that button.
He just says, no, fuck that.
Because I'm just like, you don't show the gun on the
And I
wall,
think- I think-
literally,
I
and
think
then
it's-
not fire it.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny that he's looking at that poster of the baby with spaghetti all over, and then he gets covered with
human spaghetti.
man meat, man flesh, translucent man flesh. I imagine it was pretty easy to clean up. He's invisible.
I mean, it kind of implies that, doesn't it?
The bag is clear.
Yeah, and that really is all that happened in episode 2. It was more or less just a story building one, kind of getting everyone's stories kind of set more into place. I think this is the one where Did Huey wind up sitting on the park bench with Starlight on this one or the next one?
I think it was 3.
It was episode 3?
Yeah, because this is where there's a little bit of exposition on some stuff. This is where...
Because that's when they first meet.
Yeah. And it's like, he doesn't know. That's what I liked about it. He doesn't know. She's just the girl he sees.
Yep.
And she's kind because she's from fucking Kansas. You know, she's just a Midwestern girl who has experienced city life for the first time.
Right.
And actually,
it's fucking awful.
And one more important piece in episode 2. This was the piece I was looking for, but for some reason my eyes just couldn't find it again until I went away from it. This is also the introduction of Pop Claw.
Yeah.
That's when you find out that A-Train was actually visiting an old super named Pop Claw.
And it expands it a little bit. Like, hey, there's a lot of these people.
Yeah, it's not just these 5.
It's
kind of like a X-Men like that.
Because the whole time, like, you've seen that statue in the background where the 7 are hanging out, and you're like, oh, why is there only 6? Well, Starlight's taking over for this one called Lamplighter. We don't know who it is, but he's in the statue, and you're like, wow, that's okay. So they change out, they retire, blah blah blah, except for Homelander, because he's the main one.
Now, did they ever specify if Homelander is immortal or does he actually age?
He is immortal.
Okay, that's
like,
what
he
I was
does not age.
Okay.
Because they talk about, like, he gets to a certain point and just stops aging.
Okay, got
Like
it.
when he's talking to that old man, when he says, "You're my biggest mistake."
Yeah.
There.
Okay, I didn't. I felt like they kind of covered that, but I just wasn't sure.
I do like Starlight is one of my favorite characters because she's a super, and if her identity is well hidden, even though in plain clothes and in the super, she looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you're not suspecting that it's a suit. It's this thin-railed white girl, blonde hair, who just happens to talk to a stranger on a bench.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's what happens here in episode 3. So yeah,
That and the message Butcher sends.
because episode 3 was actually the introduction of Mother's Milk, Eminem.
Yeah.
They themselves now learn about Compound V from A-Train's upcoming race. And I think this is the one. Yeah, this is where they sneak into Pop Claw's apartment. They install the spyware on her computer, in which now they have video feed
Of her pussy murdering a man.
Yes, basically face fucking a guy's skull into the ground.
Pieces.
Yes,
They're like, we
not
saw
the way
that.
I necessarily want to go out, but I mean,
because she got a hold of that good stuff.
yeah.
Turns out
she's-
Compound V is like heroin for superheroes.
Yeah, it's like heroin and PCP.
I love the lead into it because it was the landlord looking for rent, and she's
all he
like,
wants,
and
rent.
she's like trying to find his way out of the rent, and he wasn't even taking it at first. He was just like, I mean, I really just want the money. I mean, and then she was just like, well, I'm a super, right? I think there's ways we can work around this. And then like literally the next clip is him like in a fucking like sock face mask, like going through her drawers, and she's like, stop, burglar, and he's like, oh, Pop Claw.
The whole time she is junking out.
Oh yeah, she is just like basically, like you said, their version of like speed or heroin.
Isn't it in season 1 or season 2 where there's like the focus group of people that had sex with superheroes and their horror stories?
I think that's season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I thought that was fucking great. But yeah,
But this is with the race and everything. This is when Homelander sees Butcher in the crowd because Butcher, everybody's watching the race. Butcher's looking at fucking him.
turned around the entire
Yeah.
time.
I think that was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a little mistake, but at the same time, it didn't really pay off in a bad way. That's one of those moments. Because in rewatching it, I thought about that. I was like, "Ooh, was that one of the first mistakes he made?" Take that moment out. I feel like everything still happens in the order that it happens.
Yeah.
So that was more or less a Butcher being like, "I'm coming for you, motherfucker."
And I love how he has this like angry mentality. He's like, yeah, I was at this van, and guess what it was lined with? Zinc. I can't see through zinc. Who all knows that?
Yeah, exactly.
And who the fuck lines a van with zinc?
Right.
And that's what I love. That was the lead out too. That was kind of how they ended the episode. And that actor, like Cap was saying, I think both on mic and off mic, he is great at just playing that asshole you just really want to punch in the face. So
Well, he's in another
fucking
show.
bad.
He's in another show that was on Showtime. Banshee. It's about a guy in the most like justified type way. It's filmed here in Mooresville.
Oh, okay.
In parts of North Carolina. But he's an ex-con who is heading to this one place to see his ex-wife. Well, he's in a bar, and the guy that's going to be the new sheriff of the town, gets killed in front of him. So he takes the sheriff's identity because no one knows what this motherfucker looks like.
It's the story of Tombstone, isn't it?
Yeah, but he becomes the sheriff
Yeah.
of this town, and everybody's like, what the fuck? And he's a badass in that show, too. But he's one of those guys who's like, God, I wish someone would just punch him in the fucking face.
His name is Anthony Starr with 2 R's.
Yeah, like check
out of New Zealand.
Yeah, check out and he's a top star or extra in Auntie Donna's.
Yes.
He's the guy.
The stray man.
The stray man. Hey, look, I caught one.
But no, I love just his delivery. Exactly what you're saying, Chris, of just that anger with a smile.
Because he has to. Because if he gets angry, you're in a world of shit.
Yeah.
It's like if Superman was real, he would be a sociopath.
And like,
yes.
Here's the thing. Like, everybody thinks kryptonite is like Superman's weakness. It is. His biggest weakness is not killing. He can't do it. He can't go that extra step. That's what makes Homelander scary, because he'll fucking do it.
He has to try to not kill.
Yeah, that's it. And it's hard. It's like holding your breath. It's hard.
It's like if Ted Bundy was Superman.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I can do what I want. Yep.
And yeah, so he was just like, who knows, I can't see through zinc. And then he was just like, and this, it was the briefcase that had translucent skin in it. He finally found that. And he was, the Deep found it. The Deep. Oh, yeah.
Him and his boys.
Yeah, him and his boys. I love that.
Like the whole time you could tell, like, Homelander's like, shut the fuck up. I'll kill every fish in the ocean, I swear to God.
Simply because we may miss it in like future episodes. My favorite thing the Deep does is the one time you see him actually get giddy and excited is when he talks about fish. That's the only time you see him being like a normal person you could maybe relate to, because he was like, yeah, me and the boys, these salmon, God, these guys, they know how to fucking party, dude. Let me tell you, this one time, and then Homelander's like, shut.
Well, it's like, because they talk to him like a friend.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to tell his work colleagues about his friends.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hear that shit.
Because it's just a bunch of fucking fish to
No
them.
one cares about talking fish. I literally could fly through this skyscraper and bring it down with my bare hands. Shut the fuck up.
And the part I love about that outro scene with Homelander is because he's going through all that with that anger smile, and then I forget. I think he was talking to the Deep and the other girl that was in the room, and he was just like, they're like, well, who's smart enough to do all this? He was like, no. Or oh no. He's like, we're dealing with someone very smart. He goes, he's not trying to hide this from me.
This is a message.
He's like, they wanted me to find this. They're like, well, how do you know? And he opens it up, and then there's a message inside that briefcase that says, I'm coming for you. Yeah. Which basically just kind of showed it. And I wonder if that kind of thing is probably what brings down a superhero's mentality the most. Not them thinking, ooh, I figured you out. You can't hide something from me. But getting to that point and then seeing the message. So it's like the person knows, okay, I know you're going to find this. So when you do, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure with like a narcissistic mind like that, it's
that's like
annoying.
a Riddler move.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
The Riddler would do that. He fucks some shit up and leave a message because, you're smart enough to find this. Yeah. You're not stupid.
That's how it gets under your skin.
Yeah, you're not stupid. You're fucking dangerous. But I know you're not stupid.
Yeah. And like,
Homelander's a lot of things. He ain't a fucking Nazi.
and like we said in the beginning of talking about episode 3, Huey and Starlight wind up talking together, each other on the bench. And I love that exchange because, he was just like, hey, I noticed that, is everything okay? He was like, personal or work related. She's like, work,
But she's bred for this. Mm-hmm. Okay. And she's everybody talks to her knowing that she's a superhero. And he's talking to her like a person, which has never happened. Mm-hmm. Right. Like almost never happened in this girl. So she loves it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it really shows the dynamic of the other heroes, because you get a little snippet of one liner like, hey, like after the whole rapist thing in the alley, Homelander and Queen Maeve, they don't have that. They don't. Like the Deep doesn't have that. Like the people that are part of the Seven, their identities, their alter identities, are gone.
Yeah, they are what the marketing team decides.
Because like, and he's like kind of like one line dialogues their ass. He's like, look, I got rid of mine years ago, and I could only imagine what that motherfucker was like. Just trying to watching Homelander walk looks uncomfortable. Okay, because he could be. He's like an F-22 dude. He could just be there, and like, can you imagine him just trying to like stroll like a peasant to like the bathroom and not like, boom,
because everything is beneath him.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go. Use the bathroom. He doesn't use the bathroom. He goes fucking 3,500 feet in the air and pisses.
I can do what I want.
I can do whatever.
He just finds whoever he feels like pissing on and just.
Dude, you can't have sex unless you murder.
Yeah.
and
Chosen sung a song about this. Gotta have sex before you murder.
Unless there's breast milk. Then he's fine.
God, yeah, we definitely devolve when it comes to the.
And I like. So this is what I my favorite thing about watching. You watch it.
Yeah, and seeing my reaction. Yeah,
because I'm like, because at the end of episode 1, they're throwing him in the trunk, and we're watching episode 2, blood everywhere, and then we get to episode 3, and you're like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, and the whole time I'm like, it's gonna get so much fucking worse. The whole time, because they one up themselves constantly.
Even in season 2,
there's been like, I've yelled audibly on numerous occasions watching this, going, this fucking show.
Yeah. I've literally heard that. Like, I've heard them just watching it upstairs, and I've just heard like, and I've just out of the blue I hear, jeez.
That's what I want. I want a T-shirt that says "The Boys," and then the tagline is "This fucking shit."
There's just a lot of moments where you're just
dot.
There's just so many moments just with Homelander alone where you're just like, no, I don't do this. Stop.
Well, the whole time he has that presence of, I could kill you, I'm choosing not to.
So I could do whatever I want with you.
Again, he has to try to not kill you.
Yeah, and that's the hilarious thing about superheroes. Like, Superman is this golden boy. It's like, no, motherfucker.
He's like, I can go Mortal Kombat style on you.
Superman isn't his alter ego. Clark Kent is. If he wants to look weak, he wants to look like the peasants he's guarding. He looks like Clark Kent, a pussy.
And no, actually, you saying that made me think back on something. In episode 1, Butcher, when he was giving Huey the rundown on, all the supers, he goes, what about Homelander? He goes, Homelander's squeaky clean. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, Boy Scout.
Yeah. But at that point, Butcher knew that Homelander had something to do with his wife.
He's trying to he's saving face with Huey. He's like, no, we're going after A-Train because A-Train ruined your life.
Oh, okay.
They're all terrible except for Homelander. He's the last beacon, and then it's a trick to get Huey a little bit further in.
Okay, I get it now. I get it now.
It's like if it's
also just to keep him focused.
Yeah, it's also like a distracting light kind of thing.
And also like,
oh no, over here. Don't look at the vicious dog that's going to rip your fucking head off. No, I need you over here.
And the public doesn't know about any
Well, of course not. They
no,
cover it
the
up.
PR companies.
Yeah, signing it off. They do that in episode 1. Hey, sorry about your girl. This is just a standard non-disclosure agreement. You take the cash and just don't fucking talk.
Well, like the whole thing with Queen Maeve and Homelander when they get the hostage situation.
Oh, that's in this episode. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to that actually. So following Popclaw's tip, the boys wind up going and finding the Japanese woman, which they call the female.
Yeah, Kamiko.
Yep. Kamiko. And
when you find
the best Scooby-Doo character.
You find out about super terrorists.
Yeah.
And then A-Train has Popclaw going to hiding, and then while all of this is going on...
Yeah, she's in Cuba.
Yes. Then while this is going on, Queen Maeve and Homelander get called to basically rescue a plane. Like or wait a minute, there was a dispute. I feel like it was a situation.
Well, there's two things. There was a whole thing that happened. The senator who was going to push away soups from the government from the army. And while that conversation was going on, Homelander and Maeve go to a hostage situation, and this is really like we talk about the plane a lot, but this situation is the dynamic that's scary.
Yeah,
the guy's got a gun. And it's a precursor and a setup for what Homelander's really like. he's powers first every fucking time.
Yeah.
He takes a shotgun to kill a fly. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going extreme every fucking go. What does he do? Guy sees Homelander, basically gives up. Nope, I'm ripping his heart out.
Yep.
And I'm turning it. And Queen Maeve, who's just
along for the ride, really.
Just a bit like dazed on it. She's like, oh, it's just another day at work.
Yeah.
A man just got his heart ripped out by a superhuman. And she's like, that was my caller. Like, she was more mad at the fact that she was supposed to catch him and parade him along. And he's like, well, quick on her feet. And he like shoots her with that fucking AR-15.
Yep.
And she's like, the things I let you do to me. And it's like, that's when you find out, oh, they were fucking.
Yeah.
And that would be scary. Like the Wonder Woman Superman fucking. Because they're destroying foundations.
They kind of alluded that on with another partner in the season 2.
Yeah.
No,
but then you go to the plane. That was.
Well, I was going to talk about your hostage situation. The other interesting dynamic on that one was them just kind of strolling up to the scene, and then him.
You're the real heroes.
And then he's
Fuck
like,
you.
And then he's like, so which number is he on? And he's like,
31.
Yeah, and then Maeve takes the elevator, and Homelander's just like literally just chilling there, just waiting.
Yeah.
And then they're just like slowly strolling up, stand right next to the door. You're still hearing gunshots going off and people screaming, like getting hit and everything else. And they're just da 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 da. All right, yada yada blah blah.
Because
you ready?
Because to them, it's not about saving lives. It's about a job.
It is.
To them, killing hostage takers and terrorists and bad guys is like working at a gas station putting Doritos on the shelf.
Yeah. And then now fast forward to the fucking plane. Jesus fuck. And
My name's Homelander, not Planelander. Goddamn it.
That kind of like sets the tone for him for the rest of the series. Just
I think the tone was set for him in
you
episode
will back
fucking
the fuck
1.
up or I will laser all of you.
Holy shit.
I think that was just a defining moment for that, just going forward too.
Yeah, that whole thing, and the
because you see him do it with innocents too.
Absolutely, and the problem is, not only is Homelander wrong in the scenario, he's also right.
Yeah, he can't save that plane.
Nothing really can be done. His attitude about it is what's horrible.
He's nonchalant about letting people die.
But the problem is when you do really step back in the scenario and think about it in their world rules, you're like,
he kind of becomes
fuck, what can they do? Because he fucked up by lasering the fucking console.
Because he's quick on the trigger.
Quick on the trigger, and exactly what Chris said, fucking uses a laser fucking for a gnat.
Yeah.
Became Marlon Brando's character in Apocalypse Now at that moment.
We injected all the kids with compound V.
Yeah, so it's like not only did he wind up zapping the terrorist wound up killing the pilot in the same time, and he fucking zapped the control board, so he just screwed all three at the exact same time.
I love they do that one thing that's like, what can't you just get in front of the plane and hold it against what, bitch? Like, this is literally a flying brick right now. We're done. We have mission failed.
Yeah. Oh, and when he calls that one out, he's like, mission failed, let's go.
And he's like, people, stay calm, we're going to go. Oh my God, they're leaving us.
No, everything's fine. And even the line of, let's just please take her. Wow, so they can live and tell everyone else that we let them die. It's like, fuck, he's even right there. God damn it, I don't want him to be right. Fuck.
But then at the end of it, he's just like telling the passengers, like, I said, stay the fuck down, getting ready to blast them.
Yeah. And the whole crash, and they're on the beach.
Yeah.
They're on the beach with the NTSB and all the other. And it's like, you're the real heroes again. But he also goes a step further. He's like,
but
we will avenge this shit.
Oh, and then he goes, but if we had been, if
we had been called sooner, that's what we're here for, to save people. And
spun it immediately.
He did it perfectly. Because
just like any fucking good politician.
The episode earlier, Elizabeth Shue's like, you didn't have to kill the governor of Baltimore, or the governor of Maryland.
Yeah, because she didn't know he did it at first. Yeah. She's like, he's like, yeah, haha. And he's like kind of holding his hands out like, ta-da.
She's like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, he's like a dog. God damn it.
Yeah,
come home. Your fucking remote controls ate up the fuck up. God damn it!
And his reward, titty milk.
Yeah,
yeah. And
essentially, Elizabeth Shue though.
He's just like Puff Daddy. Go out to Cambodia and get me some breast milk.
I need you to go to Little Cambodia and find me a Cambodian woman. Get me some breast milk. That's 100% Cambodian.
Yeah, and that's basically how they kind of wrap up that episode, is with the Homelander speech, and and it's the one moment we actually see a little bit of humanity from Queen Maeve, because she didn't handle it well. And,
No.
And I think that's actually what kind of put her back on her drinking, wasn't it?
Well, also with this, it's the same episode with the A-Train and everything. This is where Huey realizes she's a superhero, and he asks her out, which is
They go to the bowling alley.
Yeah, and it works. And the whole time she's like undershowing her powers because she has super strength too. All of these superheroes have more than one power.
Yep.
And it's kind of weird. But it makes you think that Compound B just makes people invincible,
Right.
at the base level.
Yeah.
Oh, what's everyone gonna do? Oh, no. You're super strong.
And they're all super fast.
Yeah. And I want to say this is the episode where they have the baby with the laser eyes.
I think so.
I think that's a little later.
No, that's early, man.
You sure?
Yeah, because they got to get.
This is only episode 4.
Remember, because that woman, that CIA woman, was like, "Hey, I need you to get a sample of this shit," and they break it to the hospital because what's her name? Popclaw tells them where they've been getting it.
Yeah, you're right. I guess that would be this episode. Yeah, but regardless, that scene is fucking great, where he's like holding the fucking baby, just laser eyeing fucking people.
I like when he tells the baby when he puts the baby, he's like, "Be good or I'll kill you."
He's like, "Don't be a cunt. I'll kill you." Yeah, and then episode 5 is the Believe Expo.
Oh yeah, because Starlight's kind of like a Christian
Homecoming kind
rock
of thing.
character.
Yeah, she's an evangelical.
Yep.
But this is where Butcher forces Huey to do something he really doesn't want to do.
Actually, no, I'm so sorry. Actually, this is the episode. Later, a little bit later on, it says, in a hospital, Butcher and MM discover Vought is using Compound V on infants. So that's when they do it. Yeah, so it's this episode.
Yeah, they're not born; they're made.
Yeah. and the Ezekiel character too, the one we found out was the middle of the meat in the middle of the man sandwich.
So this is I love this episode because it's what's wrong with Christianity.
Absolutely.
A bunch of fucking assholes who are doing the opposite of what they're supposed to be fucking doing. But the whole time he's with her, he's sticking with her, blah blah blah, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to ask the girl for some tickets," and it kind of fucks her up a little bit. Like she's being used, and she's already been used once in a fucked up way. And I love Huey out the gate talks to Stretch Armstrong, whatever his fucking name is, and, like, "Hey," or but before this,
He wants to run into Homelander.
Homelander's a Christian. No, he's a god.
Yeah, he is God.
He doesn't worship a goddamn thing. Okay,
He just goes to church. He just goes to church
to be
sometimes.
worshipped. He's the god. He's the deity. Okay,
Well, he starts pulling that shit by like levitating and crap.
yeah. But you see some other soups there too, like that angel chick. But I love the Huey and Homelander first meet up, and what does Homelander do? Tries to drown him.
Yeah.
Because he can. He's like, "Oh, you're fucking with one of my employees. I need to let you know something. I can do whatever I want." This goes back to that. And like, Huey's legitimately scared, and he fucking should be.
Another thing I like about that guy's performance is that in scenes like that, we'll just put on the face, smiles, and hey everybody, just immediately to, all right, we're gonna fucking kill him.
No, it's just exactly what you said, man. That AB face within an instant, just
Yep.
It's like, ooh, god damn it.
And also, like Huey, like right after that, is talking to another superhero, another soup, and the dialogue he has to pull off the whole, "Oh, you fucked me." It's like, how many times they had to do that take with like, God damn it.
I like the bit where Huey is now run off, I think, to talk to Ezekiel, and Butcher's walking around and he's talking to
he's
that one
arguing
guy.
with the dude.
He's like, God's a cunt.
He's like, "Did you just call God a cunt?" Yeah, he created leukemia.
He's like, think about it. The man's up there. He's creating all these viruses and stuff. Blah blah blah.
I did see like a meme a while back, and it was guy dies for 2 minutes, goes to heaven, comes back, and says, "Huh, God is right about the leukemia." It's like, well, I fuck? It's just like a meme. Or like paralyzed kid asks God for to be unparalyzed. God says no.
And this is also the one. So midway through, basically Starlight has been getting really fucking annoyed by being told what to say and what to do by every fucking person.
The message has changed to like an anti-homosexual thing, and that's hardliners are pushing that hard.
Oh yeah,
and
even when when the one girl asked her, she's like, "Do you have a boyfriend? Have you ever had premarital sex with him?" She was about to go into what I thought was going to sound like a very political and clinical, clean way of just kind of going
like safe sex.
Yeah, basically just being like, "Hey, if you really love the person, yeah, in a perfect world we would wait, but you know what? We don't live in that world, so just be safe." And like that, internal pastor's like looking at her, giving her like the wide-eyed smile.
Answer.
Yeah, it's the wide-eyed smile every parent is giving their kid of like, shut up.
And I know, I know she's the hard, down with the hard line. But if I was raised to be a superhero, keep in mind she doesn't know she's made. Mm-hmm. She thinks she's God-given talent.
Yep.
Who the fuck is this guy to tell her what the fuck she can say?
Right?
At any time, God's light showed on me, motherfucker. Like, I am the preacher.
Although the entire
God said,
time,
fuck you. She made you mortal.
She's been used to Vought basically this entire time, beating her down, telling her exactly what to say. So this next person is just one other person to do it to her.
But that whole man.
But she's also
psychologically being a superhero is fucking terrifying.
Right?
She's also the only one that's truly innocent as far as getting involved and helping people and not killing anybody or anything like that.
That's when she gets up on stage and basically calls out the Deep.
Yeah.
And she goes off script. She basically calls him out all but name, essentially.
And he's sitting there watching it like, fuck.
Like he's just clicking through the TV, sees her, and then she's like starts up, and that's one comical moments you have in that moment. He's just like, huh? And he's like just eating chips, and then, uh-oh.
Before they put him through the surreal life VH1 reality show limbo.
But then Huey goes back to her at the end, and he's like, look, that's some serious shit, and I think that helped.
It did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it says in the Wikipedia here, rounding it out is when they run off to the hospital. They find the infant, use the laser eyes. Fucking, dude, I love that scene so much. And then they discover Black Noir is looking for Frenchie. Yep. And basically is told to leave the female behind, but releases her out of sympathy. She seemingly dies protecting him from Black Noir.
That is a brutal fucking fight, because you can tell Black Noir's like, oh, I got somebody almost on my level. Uh-huh. All right, bitch.
This will be fun.
And he rips a fucking gash into her, like bone deep, from rib to fucking sternum. God damn. First time watching it, I'm like, well, fuck, he killed her.
And he's just like pure evil. Or like just pure darkness.
Yeah. And then that's when Frenchie runs back over to her, and then when the wounds heal, and you're just like, oh,
she's a Wolverine.
Shit. She's fucking Wolverine is what this bitch is. All right, she's gonna fuck some shit up later.
I do like it. The memes from these shows are so good, because in the next episode, it's
episode 6, The Innocents.
In the next episode, Homelander has to talk to the Deep. And he pulls a Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, where he basically puts his hand on that fucking dude's shoulder. He's like, you fuck up. And that's where there's a meme of like the Homelander and everyone's around the table. And he's like, all of you guys are fucking up. Then Black Noir's sitting there eating yogurt. And he's like, except for you. You're a beautiful sunfish.
Yeah. So you're crushing it, Black Noir.
You're crushing it, bro. I love you. And he's like, you're crushing it, and I love you.
You're a true blue dark motherfucker.
Well, he is the minority character.
Right.
And actually, you do find out that Black Noir actually is black. We find that out in the second season.
Yeah.
And then I wound up hitting the back button on these
fucking
phones.
crispy. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm actually really curious about his backstory.
In the comics, he's supposed to be able. He's a contingency
to
kill Homelander.
And then, so episode
Interesting.
6, it says, now informed, the boys know Vought have been using super charities to smuggle Compound V disguised as vaccines to make the super babies ever since 1971. Yeah. And with Ashley fired, Stillwell demands Annie comply with her designed image, but she refused, remarking that firing her after that, reporting a sexual assault would hurt Vaught's image. So yeah, they just kind of start really going back into the...
Yeah.
This episode was more the character building, not as much happens.
Exposition.
Yes, a lot more exposition. Because this is when Butcher tells Raynor to target Homelander, and she refuses. He calls off the deal, and Mesmer checks out the surveillance. Oh yeah, that's when Mesmer gives.
Hey, Jaws.
Yeah, he basically just tells rats everyone out.
Yeah, he's such a
Right.
motherfucker.
I was wondering who that was. It's like, you look familiar, and were famous when you were a kid.
He has a baby face on a fat man's body.
Yes.
Yeah, so not much happens on that one, and basically episode 7 is when Huey and Annie have sex in a hotel, and that's basically where they immediately kick it off. And Butcher's
much.
like, you fucked her. You fucked her, didn't you?
I would have been like, she didn't break my fucking pelvis, so I think I'm doing all right. Doing better than that fucking landlord, ain't I?
You fucked a soup.
And is this the one where they
I love
go
their
to
derogatory
the...
terms for superheroes, just a soup.
Yeah. But is this the one where they go to the fucking focus group?
Yeah, I think, no.
No, I think that's in season 2.
Okay.
And but no, this is the one where everyone's holding a meeting discussing Huey killing Translucent, extorting Ezekiel, A-Train killing Robin. Homelander then accuses Starlight of the co-conspiracy. So this is when everything starts.
Yeah,
all the shit hits
yeah.
the fucking fan.
Because shit's going south because she joined. Right when she joined, so.
Yep. And Homelander just feels like he's got everything figured out, and he's just like, and it's you.
Yeah.
You are the one that's doing this. And she's like losing her fucking mind because Huey's been lying to her the whole time. She has no fucking clue what's happening.
She's like, Homelander can kill my ass anytime, anywhere, too.
And at this point, this is when Homelander is kind of getting a little bit more curious about his past, since he's hearing a little bit more about Compound V and is kind of bringing up memories. And this is when he winds up showing up to Vogelbaum's house.
Yeah.
And that's that was his dad, right? No, wait, Vogelbaum is, what's his
The
nuts?
scientist.
Yeah.
And
The one who
but
called
that's still what he called Homelander his greatest failure.
Yeah, and it's like, God.
I know.
I know it. That bit of dialogue between them is brutal.
And like, at no point does he give a fuck about telling him that. Mm-hmm. And all I could think of when I first watched it, I was like, he's going to fly off, do a whole bunch of Compound V, and like decimate a country.
Yeah.
Like in like 5 minutes.
And I think this is also the one where we discover a little bit more about Becca, because they've been kind of talking about her a little bit throughout the season, but I think this is the one where you find out that Homelander basically did rape her, and then come to find out she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Had a kid, and Homelander didn't know either.
Homelander didn't know. Everyone kept telling him that the child died at birth, or like died, on the table, this, that, and the other, and that's what Vogelbaum had told him that night.
Becca had just says something real terrifying after she finds out that he knows, where she's just like, what did she say? I know it's going to come to me. That Homelander will not let this go, and he will continue to visit me until...
that's season 2. Yeah,
season 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's after everything comes all to play. No, this is when they find out that Becca was raped.
Yeah.
That's essentially all this is going. That's all they find out in season 1, bro. Until the very end.
I watched it all like at once too.
You're like, I'm already on the roller coaster. Might as well watch it twice.
Basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But no, so yeah, this is the one where he finds out that Vogelbaum had told him that the child had died during birth, and then he visited the blonde-haired lady later on that night. I forget her name again.
Yeah.
And then she said it was a miscarriage. And that's when he realized, because he was just telling her, he's like, no more secrets, right? No more secrets with us.
Goes to Elizabeth Shue's place, just, she's already got the breast milk ready for him.
Basically. And that's when he was like, no more secrets, right? And she's like, oh, I should have told you about your child, this, that, and the other.
He's like, you probably should have.
And then as soon as she was like, it was a miscarriage, he was just like, and that's when you see him like staring into the camera, because he's just like, fuck, she lied to me one more fucking time, because it wasn't a miscarriage, the child died during. birth. And that's a different clinical term that they would have used. Miscarriage is, oh, she's just walking around with a baby. Something happened.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like he knew right then. He was just like, fuck, that is not the same outcome.
So that was his only person he cared about.
Yeah, that was his kryptonite. And that's what Butcher was slowly figuring out, too. He was like, okay, this girl, that's his weakness. Mm-hmm.
But as it turns out,
not quite so much, because essentially that's really all that happens in 7, and then episode 8 is the final episode of the season, and it's when everything fucking hits the goddamn fan.
it still just gets so much worse.
Oh my god, yeah. So basically at this point, Butcher feels like he's provided the CIA and the government everything they need with Compound V, all this evidence, all this other crap, and then sure enough, shit gets flipped on them, and now they're wanted for giving the information.
Yeah, and also
basically they did commit industrial espionage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The only thing about industrial espionage is usually you're working for another industry,
not yourself or the same team.
not trying to kill employees of another industry.
And essentially just a whole bunch of back and forth happens with Stillwell, and he warns Huey about Butcher for vengeance and this, that, other big back and forth. But we all know what the big lead up to this is.
Yeah.
Is Butcher getting the Elizabeth Shue character, tying her ass up with a bunch of fucking dynamite in her house and just waiting for Homelander to show up, because he knows that's what's going to get that motherfucker, because he just knows in the back of his head that Homelander killed Becca. He killed Becca, and now he's going to basically kill the one thing Homelander loves.
But then, like, you're so excited, you're kind of excited about it going into it, but then Homelander shows up with Elizabeth Shue's little son.
Yes.
Just being creepy as fuck.
And now, this moment, I was so fucking tense during this scene, because we didn't talk about it in the other parts of the episode, but the way that motherfucker looked at that kid so many times, like when she was getting him out of the car.
Oh, he hated that baby.
Yeah, and he was like, I feel like you care about that baby more than you care about me. And she's like, we need boundaries, okay? The way he was looking at that kid as she was walking away, when he shows up in that last episode holding it, I'm sitting here going, motherfucker's about to kill that baby. He is about to kill that baby. Oh, fuck, it's coming. And no, completely went the opposite way. Called that bitch out for lying to him one more time and fucking lasered her ass.
Put 2 holes in.
Right in front of Butcher, and then basically turns around and goes, what's your plan now, asshole?
And then takes him to Becca.
Yeah, because he blows up the house and then like wakes up in a fucking yard. And this is the only reason I watched season 2. Motherfucker wakes up in the yard, sees Becca with a kid running out, and then Homelander goes, hi, I'm your dad. And Butcher's just looking up going, what the fuck, click,
and that's
into the episode. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I have to know what happens next.
It's just so abrupt.
Like, what the fuck?
It just kind of ends with you thinking, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, they end season 1 basically with the world now knows about Compound V. Becca's alive. Where the fuck are they?
Doesn't he kill like a terrorist in this season, or is that next season?
Oh, we find out about the terrorists. I think.
That what's his name? Fuck, they gave him a fucking name too.
Yeah,
like Fireball or some shit.
But that's essentially what he does.
Yeah, they actually paid that off in the second season. I forgot that. Yeah, he shows up for a second, looks over this, and goes, "Okay, I'm done," and just flies off again. That's all we see in season 1. But yeah, season 2, you find out when he goes, someone had a cell phone out, and it did a little bit more than just catch the quote-unquote terrorists, supposedly, even at the time, which even I think they even allude to in the episode that, like, he may have not even really been a terrorist.
Yeah. And then A-Train gets his comeuppance at the end of this, doesn't he?
Kind of. So the B plot on that one was A-Train was just trying to. He found out that Huey was involved, so he was just trying to take down Huey and Starlight. He winds up having that heart attack and just keels over.
Yeah,
that's really what that led into.
This is the Starlight A-Train fight too, right?
Yeah, it's when he's running around real fast, but she's trying to use like the lights and everything. Yeah, and that was a pretty cool fight scene. It just felt like it got undercut kind of quick by A-Train having the heart attack.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
He
I thought it was also interesting. He was just like, you killed my girl, you killed my girl. He's like, no, I didn't kill Pop Claw. We did not kill her. And he was just like, I know, but I have to blame you. It's just like, oh, fuck, you just can't get over yourself,
If I was Huey, I would have just walked over to A-Train while he's having a heart attack and just beat him to death. He's like, you killed my wife, you piece of shit. All of you are going to die.
So none of you deserve to live.
Like Huey, at some point, I would love to see Huey just take some Compound V and just see what would happen.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'd probably be terrified. He'd probably turn into a werewolf or some shit.
And now what I'm curious about is, so Homelander, so let's think about this. Homelander put the baby back in the crib, walked over to the girl, laser eyed her, and then Butcher hits the button. Did Butcher kill the kid, or did Homelander also grab the kid?
We don't really find out, do we?
I don't think we ever see it in season 2.
I'm assuming the Homelander's going to use that against Butcher. Like, you killed a baby, you piece of shit.
Ooh, I wonder if that does get brought back up again, because they never really crossed paths again in season 2, aside from, the usual bullshit that we'll get into. But no, when it comes down, they never really had like a face-to-face altercation again. They kind of just kept crossing paths and avoiding each other in season 2.
Yeah.
But ooh, that would be kind of interesting if you ever used that one.
I kind of like the idea of Huey doing the Compound V too.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm just kind of curious what would happen to an adult who's never had it.
Well, then they tested that in season 2.
Well, no, those people were all like they were given Compound V as children. It's just they stole them away, kind of like mutants.
No, so I thought because they were given Homelander has a bit of exposition in season 2, because when spoilers for season 2 if you hadn't watched it yet, just turn the episode off by now. But when he was talking about it, he goes, trying to make soups from humans is a lot more messier than I thought. That explains why they start them out as children, huh? And so he even has that little line. So I think they're like getting people. And that's when the hospital scene with all the cameras and shit, I think those were all just adults that were being injected with it. And that's why they were just like, can I not go home now? So it was like all new experience for them. Huey with Compound V. What would be his powers? Let that be kind of the round out on this. If Huey took Compound V, what do you think his skill set would be?
He would cry.
What
and then get really angry.
No, he'd cry and his tears are acid.
Whatever happens,
very useless too.
Whatever happens, then he turns and becomes an asshole superhero with the power now, and then they have to put him down.
I think it'd be great if he was just to have a simple power that Homelander would hate. Like just like invulnerability, like he could punch him all day and just Huey just stands there. Can't do nothing to him. You can't hurt him.
He just gets Deadpool powers where he's just like,
No, doesn't take a fucking hit. Homelander hit him as hard as he can. Motherfucker doesn't even move.
It's like, give me your best shot.
But then Homelander's like, you're still a pussy. And he's like, what are you going to do?
They'd ask him.
But meanwhile, he still can't fight or fly or anything like that.
But no, The Boys, I should have definitely watched it sooner. Everyone was raving about it. Weekly Planet was going on about it when season 1 came out. A bunch of my friends were, and it took until like 2 years later for me to finally sit down and watch it. But hey, the benefit is we binge watched 2 seasons, and if COVID didn't fuck up shooting schedules, hopefully we'll have a new season this year.
Yeah, I like it. I'm invested as much as I kind of hate it sometimes.
But you know what? I think that's what sometimes makes a good series. You have to have a couple characters you genuinely hate, which means you're invested.
But it's
it's good writing.
But it's most of them. That's the thing.
That's the problem. All of them are horrible.
Yes.
Well, then for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex.
I've been Cap.
And Morrison, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Oh man, so much. If I was a superhero, I would be Homelander. Like, I'm sorry, I agree with the motherfucker way too much. Like, I know he's a piece of shit, but we're all going to be pieces of shit. If you told me you could drop a fucking aeroplane.
Actually, real quick, in an arm wrestle, okay? Not other superpowers, arm wrestle. Who would win, Homelander or Spider-Man?
Homelander.
There you go.
No arguments.